Okay, I am now talking. John just texted me. I'm having some technical difficulties today. Technology is not working in my favor. So hopefully you can hear me. I'm checking with John to make sure. And now I can't get my computer. There we go. All right. We're working on this. This is not a technology day. Normally it works in my favor. Today not so much. I'm sorry for the late start, but like I said, lots of problems. I'm here to tell you about a cool new website that I heard about at TCEA this summer or this back in February. That I think is really something that kind of is an interesting thing. If you want to, I have included the link to my presentation. So if you wanted to come back and look at anything, you definitely could. It's right here, that goo. So you can look at that. But this app is called Awe, and it's called Awe app, but it's not really an app per se. It's really a website. And Awe stands for a web whiteboard app. And their website is just aweapp.com. It's a pretty easy one. You can Google Awe app and it will come up to it. But basically, what Awe app is a collaborative web whiteboard, which that piqued my interest because everything's collaborative. We always want to collaborate. Well, this gives kids a chance to all collaborate together on a whiteboard. And so you create a whiteboard, you share it with your students. You can share it through Google Classroom, and you can have multiple students work on one whiteboard. And then at the end, when you're done, you can export it as a PDF or as an image. So then you have something that you can put into another document. You could export your presentation that the kids do and put it into Screencastify, and then the kids could narrate it. I think that would be something that kind of really cool with it. So it's got some really good components to it. I will tell you, it has a free part, and like everything, it also has a paid part. The educator account is $9 a month. I think you can probably get away with doing the free app. The parts I've been working with, free has worked perfectly for me, and I haven't really had any trouble with it. But it is something, and they do discounts for schools, and you can do a school license and that sort of thing to look into. Teachers can sign in with a Google account. Students do not have to sign in. That's always something really nice, is the students do not have to sign in. They can create a Google account also, but when you share an app with them, when you share, I'm sorry, a whiteboard with them, then they just put their name on there, and you can have them make up names, pretty princess, you could have your gamer names or whatever names they want to have. It works on all devices. You can do it on an iPad, you can do it on a Chromebook, you can do it on a computer, a laptop. One thing they talk about doing, and I haven't done this yet, but you set it up on your computer, and then maybe the kids have devices at their desk and put it up on the board, and now you have an interactive smart board that everybody can work with, not just one person up at the board or you up at the board. The kids can all add things to it. And then you can export as a PDF. The PowerPoint, I'm sorry, you can export as an image. That's free. The PDF and the PowerPoint, I didn't get into the URL because they converted my account to to give me a free trial. So I couldn't tell if the URL one was if it was part of the free or if it's part of the paid version. But I just went and took images and downloaded them out of Google Drawings, or just found images that I wanted, and I just imported the images. I didn't even need the PDF, because you can even turn a PDF into an image and upload it into Google Draw, and then download it as an image, and you're good. So that makes it pretty easy. Now what I've got a board here for us. If you want to try this account and join the room, I'm going to show it to you so you can just look at it. But you can, for this live presentation, you can get into it. If you're watching this as a recording, you won't be able to get into the account. And so let's see. Here we go. It opens up. And this is exactly how the kids would see it. You would give them that link. and it would open up. And then the first thing it does is it says, you're joining a shared board, your name, and then it says optional. You can click and not even put your name. But I'm going to put my name. And if anybody else, I think I'm going to put my name. It's still running. My computer is running very slow today. So, and I'm going to join that shared board. One of the really cool things about it is it has a comment section over onto the side here. You can see where you could go and send a message. You could say, maybe you're all tasked with doing something, and you can send a message, hey, I'll take care of this part of it. And so everybody knows. Over here on the left are all of your shortcuts that you need. You have your arrow, you have your undo button. My absolute favorite button on any device is the undo button because I always need the undo button. I would like a redo button on here too. Maybe they'll add one. You have your colors, so you can do different colors with it. You've got a pen or a highlighter or lines, and you can choose the size of your pen. My kids love that. They love making things big and small. You have your eraser and your scissors, and again your delete, and then you have your shapes. They only do rectangles and circles. I'd like it if they would, maybe add some more, and that may be something that they would work in doing. That's something we can all comment on them and email them and say, hey, I'd love it if I had more than just rectangle and circle shapes. But for a lot of times that works. This is the part I like, because if you're on a computer and you use the pen, it's really hard. Well, that actually turned out pretty good. It's kind of hard to write with a mouse and a pen. Here they've got a text box. So you can create a text box and then you can type. Whoops, I just deleted it. So, hi, how are you? And if you're in my board, you will see that same thing. It's kind of like how Google Drawings or how Google Docs and those sorts of things are. So you can see how it works. And then you can add a Post-it note. Here's where you upload your images. So you can just click on this image right here, and it will upload it in there. This is something I think is really cool about this, is they've got this plus sign that adds pages. So now your whiteboard is not just one page, it's multiple pages. So you can go through several pages and have the kids do it. When you go to share the board, because you've got your board, you'll probably you'll want to name it. Let's see if I can name it. It's not working today. There we go. It's right here. This is where you can save. You can open your saved boards. You can create from a template. I haven't tried the templates. Create a new board. I create one board, and if I want to have several boards going on in the classroom, I just duplicate my boards. And then, so that's a really nice feature to be able to do. And then you can manage your participants, who's in here. And see, right now it's just me. I'm so sad I'm all by myself, but that's okay. This is the part where you could invite the students. This one allows everyone to edit it. And I just copy that link and I just share it into Google Classroom. Just add that link into Google Classroom. There is a section where you can allow anyone to view it and not do that. I do believe this one and the share a copy are part of the paid subscription. I've been using the free subscription up until just now, and I just do the allow everyone to edit, and we're perfectly fine. Like I said, it's been working for me. It's no problem. But this one here makes it kind of like Google Classroom in the sense that everybody gets their own copy. And so you can see that, and you can share it as a QR code. Maybe you're working with the iPads. There's your QR code. They can just scan that real fast, and then now they're in your room. So it's pretty easy. It's pretty basic. They can write on it like kind of like Doceri. You can't record with it. That is where you would want to export it, and this is the export, and it's just shows right here. Export as a PDF or export as an image, and so you just export it and then put it into Screencastify or maybe open it in Doceri. Any of those will work for that. Like I told you, it was, and I've got to stop. It is a Google. You can sign in with your Google account, which I love doing. I love anything that lets me sign in with Google. That automatically moves it up to the top of my list because I hate having to type the passwords and remembering the passwords. Just had that problem today. And so as it's opening, it's logging in again. I told you it's running very slow today. Um, and open up. Once you get into your account, I'll show you because I know I kind of would have a little bit of trouble sometimes finding some of my ones. Oh, it went back. It's lost. I've lost it. It didn't like it once I signed in. This is the problem I had last night when I was working on this. It didn't like it when I signed in. So I'm not going to try to sign in. But if you're looking for some, oh, here, maybe it'll work. It lets me sign in. And so, come on. There we go. Let's see. Let's see if it can work. And so I just went to my account and I opened up my account, and that's where I found my saved boards. And because I know I had a hard time, I kept trying to find them. Where are they? They're here under my saved boards, under my account. And that's where you can see any boards you've created. That's where you would go in and look at what the kids have created so you can see what's going on. Okay. Like I said, it's really pretty self explanatory. You can turn this off to where it doesn't show the messaging, the comments. And but you just kind of go with it. So like I said, it's pretty basic, it's pretty easy. It is great for sharing, like I said, letting the kids share what they've learned. And I have some examples here. I'll go back to my presentation. And um here was one. One thing I did because I put 4 kids on one board. I went and I divided it because they were running into trouble and getting on different places. So I just went and took their boards and divided it into 4 sections, and they all knew. They picked a section, they put their name on it, and in this case what they did was they had gone out into the building and found examples, real life examples of shape of lines and angles that we'd been studying, and then now they put them all into the picture, and then they marked them with the pen from the whiteboard. And then I just downloaded this as a JPEG. Here's another one that they did. And you can see my lines are so perfect and so great. But the kids had a good time trying to find, because several pictures had many things. And so I was like, well, which thing are you talking about? But they had to label it. And so you can see here they put their labels. Another thing you can do, you can import a PowerPoint. Like I said, I believe this is part of the paid, but you could go and do that, kind of do some of them now. But the kids can go and you can share it with them. So it's kind of like Nearpod, and except for you don't necessarily have control, but they could do their work, or maybe they do their work like this is math. They might do their work on paper and put their answers into um, on the PowerPoint that you put into the program, the whiteboard. Another one, this is one I saw, playing a tic-tac-toe game. And here you can create problems and the kids have to solve them. But because you have access to their board, they can't do the next move until you check off. So you just open their board and go, okay, yep, that one's right, or no, that one's wrong. Go back and redo it. And so that keeps them from just sticking answers down and moving on real fast. But it could be done with vocabulary. It could be done with little kids, with the little ones. Put a picture. What letter does this start with? Write the letter that the apple starts with. And so, I mean, it can go all the way down, upper, lower, and they can just play tic tac toe. Who doesn't love tic tac toe? All kids love tic tac toe. This is going pretty quick now. The last part is I've got some include, and these are all on their website too, on Oz website. These are different ways to use it from different educators. Their blog had some really cool ideas of ways to use it. And this is up on their website. You don't even have to go to my presentation. You can just go straight to their website and up. It's a tab up at the top. See, here it goes, blog. And they have different ideas, creating math videos with awe and screencastify. See, there's where the screencastify, sketchnoting, a poetry visualization. Here's a trigonometry classroom. So there's all sorts of ideas here on ways to use awe in your classroom. So it's just more than even what I've got. And like I said, there's the classroom version here, and they kind of give you a lowdown on different things you can do. Again, some of it's going to be through the paid version, but you can kind of play around with it and see what you can work with and go go with it. But I think just to me it was a fun app to work with, and just another fun way for the kids to be able to share things that they've learned while working in a group. And sometimes it worked a little easier because they didn't have to log into anything. It was sometimes a little easier than using like a PowerPoint or Google Slides or Google Docs, because sometimes you have to set those up for them. And this took 2 seconds to set up and share. So that was one of the things I liked, that because I'm a huge Google. I love Google. And so let's see, I think we're pretty much done. I don't know if there are any questions that anybody has. Yeah, that's it. We're done there. I've provided I can get anything to move. There we go. Like I said, it's really pretty basic. It's self-explanatory. It is that my kids, the first time I showed it to them, they were over the moon. They thought that was so cool that they could sit there and work with somebody that was on the other side of the room, and they would see them do something. Now, we did have the learning curve. I will tell you, there are at times, somebody deletes someone else's stuff, and that does happen. I'm just gonna, it happens. But so I would start off using this with something that you don't it's not going to be that big of a deal. You just say, hey, if it gets deleted, you put it back on there. I do always show my kids the undo button and tell them, if you notice that there was a picture there that you somehow was gone, it's gone. Do the undo button, because maybe you deleted it. And if you did, the undo button will bring it back. All right. And mine loved too the chat box. They would have conversations with each other while they were working. And I had a group that they were sitting right next to each other, but they still chose to chat with each other over what they were doing instead of talking with each other, which is kind of, if you have kids that are teenage age, you see them at home and their friend come over and they'll sit there and sit on their cell phones texting each other back and forth. So this was for elementary age. This was gave them that experience, even if they don't have a cell phone, because then it allowed them to talk back and forth. And then, like I said, if the kids do create their own, then that I didn't have mine create their own. I didn't encourage them to create their own because they are under 13. I do believe when I looked it up that they went all with the FERPA rules guidelines. And so but I did not encourage them. I told them that they didn't have a need for creating anything. But older students, that would be a good thing. Let them, if they're over 13, let them create that account. And since they can do it with Google, that really helps out. Okay. And hopefully, John has put the CPE link. I know this was kind of short, sweet, to the point. And, it's not a complicated app, so it didn't need long details. But this is one of those, if you're wanting to try something and maybe you get a little overwhelmed with things, this might be a good one to try real fast. Even just try it with a small group and let them work. All right. So John says we don't have any questions. So I'm going to let you go and let you get the CPE link that he'll put out there for you. And, let me stop that. And I hope you have a good day and good rest of the year. All right. Talk to y'all later. Or not talk to you later, but see you later. Bye.